wrestling fans, and welcome to this week's edition of International Wrestling. Talk about destruction, talk about devastation. It's here this week with 342-pound man Milt Moore. Sheik Ali, always dangerous, always despicable, appearing this week here with International Wrestling. There is action, there is excitement, and there are thrills when Alofa, the Polynesian Prince, appears again this week here with International Wrestling. We bring you the greatest in professional wrestling excitement. You're going to get another look at that tremendous match. The International Tag Team Championship on the line. Tom Zenk Dan Kroffat against the Long Rider combination of Wild Bill Irwin and Cowboy Bull Johnson. Stay with us. Excitement, and we're opening up this week, taking another look at that tremendous match, the International Tag Team Championship on the line. That's Cowboy Bull Johnson just tagging on to his partner, Wild Bill Irwin. Dan Kroffat on the receiving end of that boot. Tom Zenk, his partner, on the ring apron. Wrestling fans, we showed you this match last week. We felt it would be worthwhile to take another look, particularly when you consider the volume of mail we received from you fans requesting another look at this tremendous match. And now we are in the action. Some time has elapsed. That is, Cowboys, well, I should say Wild Bill Irwin in there, just took a swing at Tom Zenk outside the rope. And you know something? Cowboy, why do I keep calling him Cowboy? Wild Bill Irwin keeps taunting Tom Zenk. You know, for weeks now, he's been calling him Pretty Tom, Perfect Tom. There is some form of animosity related to the Tom Zenk situation on the part of the Long Riders and Cowboy Bull Johnson. I don't know whether the Long Riders are jealous of Zenk's physique, jealous of his look, but it's obvious to all of us that there is, without question, no love lost, and a desire on the part of the Long Riders, and particularly Wild Bill Irwin, to do damage to Terrific Tom Zenk. Dan Kroffat was just run in neck first to that top rope, and you can see Tom Zenk stretching from outside the ring in an effort to tag his partner. This is a big match for all contestants, and a beautiful move by Dan Kroffat to reverse the situation. Wild Bill Irwin was going to ram his head to the top turnbuckle. Kroffat did it to him instead, managed to crawl to the corner, tag off with Tom Zenk, and is he going to work on Wild Bill? Oh, what a backdrop. Cowboy Bull Johnson invades the ring, gets a boot to the midsection, and Johnson and Irwin, their heads rammed together. Tom Zenk is on fire. Look at that beautiful whip to the rope. Scoop slam by Zenk. Bill Irwin on the canvas, drop kick by Tom Zenk. Cowboy Wild Bill Irwin put to the canvas. One more time, there's Zenk from the second turnbuckle. Wild Bill Irwin just moved back in time. Tom Zenk caught nothing but air, landing almost on his neck. And wrestling fans, if you think that doesn't stun you, think one more time. And now, Irwin, it looks like he's going for a suplex up in the air. Holy cow, what a reversal by Terrific Tom Zenk. He came back for over the back. The sleeper, hold on. No one has escaped from this recently perfected Tom Zenk sleeper. Take a look, folks. He puts it on a little differently than we're used to seeing it. That right arm is not vertical, it's more parallel. But is it effective? Wild Bill Irwin with the Tom Zenk sleeper on him in the center of the ring. There's Cowboy Bull Johnson. Who's invaded the ring? There's a masked man in the ring. The bells run. Wild Bill Irwin has gone to sleep, and there's a masked man there. He is big, and he's got his face covered with a mask. And outside the ring, Cowboy Bull Johnson has gone for a chair. He tosses it in the ring. Tom Zenk taking punishment from the masked man. There's a chair in the center of the ring. The referee just thrown against the rope by Wild Bill Irwin. And the masked man now. The masked man has Zenk in the center of the ring. He's picking him up. Holy cow, Wild Bill Irwin just forced him down between the masked man's legs in a forceful pile driver. And now the masked man, and I don't know who it is, the masked man in the center of the ring, holding Zenk up. The chair across the top of the head by Wild Bill Irwin, and again the referee thrown to the corner. The masked man continuing to pound on the head of Tom Zenk. Oh my goodness, what a right hand punch. And now, no. The masked man holding Zink's head up. Bill Irwin holding that chair. The masked man ramming Zink's head into that chair, and we can see when his head left it. Zink is bleeding. They've cut him open. And now Rick Martel in the ring in his street clothes. Cowboy Bull Johnson over the top rope. Eddie Creatchman knocked off. Martel going after the mask guy. He's got the mask. He's got the mask, and he's lifting it. I don't believe it. I can't believe it. It's Scott Hog Irwin with a summer haircut. Now, Steve Strong in the ring, jumping Martel from behind. Strong has come out. He's challenged Martel many times. You've got three of them in the ring. While Bill Irwin double-teaming Martel with Steve Strong. Scott Hog Irwin, who invaded the ring wearing the mask. They're going after Tom Zenk, and they've got his forehead cut open. The two long riders, the two Irwins, Scott Hog and Wild Bill, pounding away at Zenk. And the chair again across the forehead. Martel's down in the center of the ring. Steve Strong pounding at him. And there goes Dan Kroffat outside the ring, taking the boots from Cowboy Bull Johnson. Wild Bill Irwin's got to the corner. He's got the whip. He's got the whip. Zink flat on the canvas, his forehead cut and bleeding. And now Martel is being triple teamed. Triple teamed by Strong. Wild Bill Irwin, and now here comes Cowboy Bull Johnson with his whip. Strong just pointed to the top rope, and Bill Irwin and Strong flipping Martel over that top rope and hanging him, choking him with Wild Bill Irwin's whip. This is despicable. In the meantime, in the center of the ring, they're continuing to pound away at the forehead of Tom Zenk. He's already cut and bleeding. He is already cut, and Scott Hog Irwin, who in a cowardly way invaded the ring with the mask, is continuing to go after him. Strong continuing to choke Martel, and now Ritchie's in there, Dino Bravo Jr., and a host of others breaking it up. Rick Martel is flat on the floor after being choked with the whip by Wild Bill Irwin and Steve Strong. Tom Zenk laid out flat on the canvas, his head cut wide open, and Dan Kroffat flat on the floor. Look at that, wrestling fans. It's a pity, it's a shame. The Long Riders are jealous of his look. They're jealous of his popularity. They wanted to hurt Tom Zenk, and they cut him wide open. The championship belts, the tag team championship belts are still held up. But, folks, you know, and I know that they properly belong around the waist of Dan Kroffat and Tom Zenk. Wild Bill Irwin, without question, was put to sleep by Tom Zenk. The combination of Zenk and Kroffat should be the tag team champions. This is mayhem. Let's go to ringside now for a special interview. All right, wrestling fans, with me, Scott Hog Irwin is back. Wild Bill Irwin, Steve Strong, and naturally Eddie Creatchman. Mr. Creatchman, the despicable act of your men during the tag team championship.
Listen, my man here, Bill, is going to give you all the answers you want right now.
Listen up, people. You people thought that the championship committee could take our belts away. And you thought that Tom Perfect Zenk and Dan Kroffat could come out here and take our belts. Well, you two got to have a few more years behind you to try and sneak up and get our belts, because Scott Hog Irwin is back. And let me tell you something else. Just when we get those boys where we got them, and only the Long Riders could get them there, right? That's it. Who comes sneaking up from behind but Rick Martel? Now, I got to thank one person. Steve Strong, you're a heck of a man. A heck of a man. You beat up Martel like he was nobody. I loved it. You were great. Talk to the people. Tell the people. I finally cornered, as I said before, the ultimate color. Ricky Martel. He snuck up. He tried to hurt you. Thank you. But what did I do? We crippled him. Is he going to be around anymore? No. This is why I'm on the side. I'm in here to triple Ricky Martel.
Hey, maybe if those three little pukes would like to get in the ring, us big three he-men would like to slap your faces just a few more times.
Look at that arm. Look at that. Rick Martel. Dan Kroffat.
Zenk, you puke. You ain't got a chance.
No way. Rick Martel, you hypocrite.
Well, I'll tell you, wrestling fans, like him or not, Scott Hog is back with Wild Bill Irwin and Steve Strong.
The hard man's back.
A dangerous combination will lead you. Wrestling fans, stay with us.
Finally, a serious Molson Golden commercial. Serious because we're talking about how we make Golden so golden smooth. We do it here You see, after we brew Molson Golden, we let it gently rest, aging it cold before we bottle it. That cold aging makes Molson Golden about as smooth as it gets. And that's a serious Molson Golden commercial.
Barbecue and fish, so delish. Take any 1 pound or individually wrapped Highliner fillets. Cook frozen to keep in all the natural juices. Form a foil tray. Lightly butter the fillets, a squeeze of lemon, then close the lid. Barbecue for 10 minutes. Fantastic lemon butter fillets. Try some today. And look in your supermarket for more exciting barbecue recipes from Highliner.
Go for the lean, tender, juicy, lean Arby's roast beef. Taste lean, trim Arby's roast beef. It's as terrific as you are, as terrific as the things you like to do. Go for the tender, lean, juicy taste in every Arby's roast beef sandwich. Go for the lean. Go for Arby's roast beef. Lean on into Arby's.
Cards and letters coming tell us who should square up for the TV championship. 4,000 Bourbon East, Montreal H1X1H6. Outweighing his opponent, Ron Ritchie, by approximately 35 or 40 pounds. This young fellow, Ron Ritchie from Winnipeg, Manitoba, a fast rising star on the international wrestling circuit, rapidly becoming a great fan favorite. Without question, the man is a fine, fine athlete and a great young wrestler, and we're looking forward to some big, big things in the near future from this same Ron Ritchie. Right now, a good side headlock taken by Dave Ruehl, backs against the ropes, and Ritchie throwing him off. Nice move. Oh, a good shoulder tackle by the heavier Ruehl. Second one, putting Ritchie on the canvas. And now a beautiful leapfrog by Ritchie, grabbing and hooking the arm of Dave Ruehl. Hip toss to the canvas. You know, folks, I still can't believe what we saw happen in the opening match in the program today. I cannot understand for the life of me. Look at that nice move by Ron Ritchie, climbing the turnbuckles, taking over Dave Ruehl, putting him on the canvas, but he's not going to subdue the larger man that quickly. He has yet, of course, to weaken him enough. There's no question of that. But Ritchie is in control with that good headlock on the canvas. I started to say, I really failed to understand why Scott Hogg Irwin was unable to return here to international wrestling in sufficient time to, along with his brother, Wild Bill Irwin, defend the International Tag Team Championship in the time frame imposed on them by the Championship Committee of International Wrestling. The belts, of course, were lifted. And why did Scott Hogg Irwin return with a mask on yet and interfere in the match where the belts were at stake? Bull Johnson and his brother Wild Bull facing the tandem of Tom Zenk Dan Kroffat. That was a nice suplex by Ron Ritchie. And Steve Strong, how do you explain why he continues to attack verbally and physically Rick Martella, generally sneaking up on him? Hey, that wasn't a sneak up, let me tell you. Ron Ritchie up in the air and down with a solid right-hand punch to the chin of Dave Ruehl, who's now being whipped by Ritchie, and a beautiful drop kick. This Ritchie gets up there really high. I'll tell you, a very effective drop kicker, maybe even in the league of Sheik Ali. Ruehl now being whipped one more time by Ron Ritchie, and a good double chop across the upper part of the chest, and Ruehl is on the canvas, being lifted now by the hair to his feet by Ron Ritchie. As I said, looking for big things from Ron Ritchie. He body slams Ruehl now to the canvas, backing against the ropes, and down with a good knee drop across the chin. Hey, that will save Ruehl up, let me tell you. Ritchie very methodical in the ring. You know, he gets up there big and high, he can move, he can leap, but he's a very methodical wrestler. And a beautiful move now by Ritchie, taking Ruehl back, slamming his neck to the canvas, covering, but the larger man able to lift his shoulders off the canvas. It takes the 3 count, let's not forget that. Ruehl whips now Ritchie back against the rope, and a good flying double chop across the chin, I think there. Because look to me, that's where Ritchie caught him. Looking to the fans now, bringing Dave Ruehl to his feet. What's he going for? Looks like he's got him set up for an atomic dropper. No, it's a reverse suplex. Beautiful move by Ritchie. He has shown us over the past few weeks at least 3 or 4 different forms of suplex. Obvious that Ron Ritchie does have a Greco-Roman amateur background, lifting Dave Ruehl up now. Backbreaker dropping him across the knee, laying him into the corner, and now Ron Ritchie climbing the turnbuckle to the second one. Way up and down with a flying pin cover, hooking the leg. There it is. The count of 3 goes in. Ron Ritchie defeats Dave Ruehl right here on International Wrestling. Just another step up the ladder of success for Winnipeg's own Ron Ritchie here on International Wrestling. We're going now, obviously, to get another look. You see that reverse suplex by Ritchie. Nicely done maneuver. Ruehl is in obvious pain, obvious discomfort. He has been weakened, there's no question of that. By Ron Ritchie, who now picks the heavier man up, drops him down in a backbreaker across the knee, climbs the ropes to the second turnbuckle. That beautiful flying body press off the second turnbuckle. The count of 3 goes in. Chalk up another victory here for Ron Ritchie with International Wrestling. Folks, a lot more action yet to come. Stay with us.
You know, wrestling fans, that International Wrestling covers all across Canada and the United States, but nowhere are we more happy to go in the Ontario region because of you, the wrestling fans. And you know, it's my pleasure and honor to interview some of the greatest names here at International Wrestling. And with me today, keep an eye on this wrestler. Believe you me, he is going to be one of the great champions in the sport of professional wrestling, Ron Ritchie.
Well, I'd like to say hello to all the wrestling fans of the Ontario region, you know, and I'm just excited when I come down to your area. But first of all, I'd just like to give you a little background. For the last 5 years, I've been wrestling throughout the United States, and now I'm home in Canada, where a place I was born and a place I love. And I've got to make a name for myself here, and I'm just climbing up the ladder, and the competition here is tough, but a loss from me right now would just put me right at the bottom of the ladder, and right now I got my sights set on championship bouts, so a win is a must for me every match, and another notch up that ladder. So I'd just like to thank all the people when I come to your area for your support and getting behind me, and I'm looking forward to meeting all the people, and thank you, Albert.
Ron Ritchie, truly one of the greatest stars at International Wrestling. Now with me today, one of the most colorful and popular wrestlers here with us today, Alofa, the Polynesian Prince.
How you doing, Al?
The people in Ontario, man, they're just waiting for you to go
First of all, I'd like to give the people of Ontario a warm and welcome thanks and aloha to all you people out there from International Wrestling, brother. I'm looking forward to come to that town. Is it beautiful? Is this
beautiful time of year now.
Do they have a nice white beach like Hawaii and stuff with all the girls in bikinis?
All the facilities and the beautiful girls are the girls in Canada, bro.
Me and you gotta go down there.
You know the competition here is just tremendous.
Oh yeah, like Ron Ritchie said, brother. You know, there's a lot of tough competitions. They got guys flying in from Japan, guys flying from Australia, Iran, all over the world just to come here to face top dogs up here in International Wrestling, and it's getting tougher and tougher, brother. You know,
wrestling fans, stay with us. Lots more action coming out.
We are taking a look, folks, at the great Samu, one of the most naturally gifted and talented young wrestlers in the world today. Remember, the man stands in at approximately 6 feet 4 inches in height and weighs in excess of 280 pounds. He is both talented and tough. He is also hungry. He has returned here to International Wrestling, and wrestling fans, listen to this great bit of news. Next week here on television, you will watch this devastating and dynamic young performer, the great Samu, who is riding the crest of a phenomenal winning streak that he started here with International Wrestling and continued throughout the entire Far East. That winning streak will be on the line when here on television next week, the great Samu challenges International Heavyweight Champion Dino Bravo. The International Heavyweight Championship will be at stake next week here on television.
We're taking it to the street. The first auto race through the streets of Toronto. The Molson Indy. The men. The atmosphere. The machines of Indianapolis, attacking Lakeshore Boulevard at 190 miles an hour. Downshifting for hairpin turns around Exhibition Place. Then, down the straightaway to the Prince's Gate. The Molson Indy, taking it to the streets. Brought to you by Molson, brewers of Molson Export.
Taste is largely a matter of personal choice. But over time, certain things have come to be recognized as being definitive of good taste. Taster's Choice Instant Coffee is a perfect example. 100% ground roast coffee, fresh brewed, then freeze-dried for your good taste. The good taste of Taster's Choice.
The amazing $9.99 clothing store is becoming more amazing by the day. For a limited time only, everything goes 2 for 1.
Skirts, regularly $40. We reduced them to $9.99. Now, 2 for $9.99. Cotton jackets, regularly $52. We reduced them to $19.99. Now, 2 for $19.99.
Come to our 2 locations and be truly amazed. 50 Dufflaw Road in Downsview and Shoppers World, 1530 Albion Road in Rexdale.
High-tech hair from the House of Masters. The active man of the 80s. Take the plunge with total confidence. Face to face, the closer you look, the better we look. High-tech hair, the intelligent decision. House of Masters, 924-2585.
French-Canadian athlete in there, tangling with the very devastating, the destructive, and in many cases, frankly, the despicable Sheik Ali, accompanied by his manager, Eddie the Brain Creatchman. These 2 men will stop folks at nothing to achieve their objective. And one thing you have to say, one thing that without question must be recognized is the talent of this man, Sheik Ali. 6 feet 4 inches tall and 275 pounds this guy is put together. He is an athlete. He knows how to wrestle, and he can get down and dirty, and in fact often does. In a way, it's a shame, because Sheik Ali does possess tremendous scientific wrestling knowledge. He is a capable professional wrestler. Without doubt, one of the finest drop kickers in the world of professional wrestling today. The man has a vast repertoire of holds. He's capable. It's sad in a way when you see a man of his size and capacity resort to the tactics that he does resort to. Rest assured, a lot of that is the despicable influence of Eddie the Brain Creatchman. Pierre, forced against the ropes by Sheik Ali, who throws in a thunderous right hand forearm and a punch to the back of the head of Pierre. Well, you can see he's going to the rough stuff right away. That was a good legal forearm uppercut, folks. Putting Raw on the canvas. Sheik Ali loaded for bear today. Well, look at that standing drop kick, no more than 6 or 8 inches away from the opponent. Nailed him right on the jaw with both feet. I said at the start of the match that this man, Sheik Ali, is a capable wrestler and one of the finest drop kickers in the world. There's no question of that. Look at that beautiful reverse spin-around move on the part of Sheik Ali. Whipping around that leg whip, catching Pierre right across the entire midsection and dropping him to the canvas, ramming his head now to that top corner turnbuckle. Well, right off the opening bell, folks, it's been all Sheik Ali during the course of this match to date. Sheik Ali backing his opponent Pierre into the corner, throwing those good right hands, and now taking a hold of the arm. Putting a little twist, but a nice reversal by Pierre, whipping Sheik Ali and backdropping him back to the center of the ring. But Sheik Ali fighting back with a well-placed punch to the midsection, putting Raw on the canvas. Remember, folks, we will be giving you the address later in the program. Write to us. Let us know who you want to see wrestle for the International Wrestling Television Championship. It's less than a month away. Raw being whipped off the rope. Well, good thing he was able to almost sidestep that attempted backdrop by Sheik Ali, who's not too happy about it. Hand for good measure, lays in a boot to the midsection and elbow to the back of the head. Backing Pierre now against the ropes, and a good right hand punch. He could have laid it in, mind you, with more force. Whipping off the ropes, backing on himself, and that solid flying. It's not a drop kick, it's not a spin around. He just comes off the ropes and up in the air, lays that great big knee and thigh across the chin of his opponent as he did to Pierre there. Covered him and scored a relatively easy 1-2-3 pinfall. And Sheik Ali continues his destructive, his dynamic, and his winning ways here on International Wrestling. After scoring the pinfall, he just has to do that kind of thing. Look at that. Laying the boot into the back of Pierre's head and then throwing him out between the ropes onto the ring floor. Devilish glee registering on his face as he and the brain Creatchman stand in the ring and accept what they feel are the accolades of the fans here in attendance at the match. Let's take another look. The boot, well, fortunately caught Raw on the side, really, and in the arm. Laid the elbow in. We're going to watch for that destructive move on the part of Sheik Ali. It's a move that's unique to Sheik Ali, much as Rick Martel's move of coming in over the top rope. Look at that. That flying leg and upper thigh across Pierre's chin, putting him to the canvas, and that's all she wrote. Sheik Ali wins again here on International Wrestling. We'll be right back.
Finally, a serious molten golden commercial. Serious because we're talking about how we make golden so golden smooth. We do it here. You see, after we brew molten golden, we let it gently rest, aging it cold before we bottle it. That cold aging makes molten golden about as smooth as it gets. And that's a serious molten golden commercial.
We asked this food lover to pick his favorite dish from the Eaton Center.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't pick just one dish. Have you got any idea how many terrific things there are to eat here?
If you were your car and you needed a new muffler, you wouldn't go just anywhere. You'd go to Speedy. Speedy gives you a free estimate so you can relax. You get expert work and the Speedy guarantee. Try finding a better deal for big cars, small cars, whatever car you are. For a great price, call Speedy. At Speedy, you're not just another car. You're a somebody.
I'll be there before noon. 24 hours a day. This news team's in high gear.
Thank you.
City Pulse.
Tigers 1-0 over the Yankees.
Third take. Okay. We work harder. The spot really dumped the money right into there. To bring you Toronto's news.
Stand by one.
And our reporters, they go places no one else would.
That's not going to stop me, is it?
We'll rise to any occasion, so you'll know how it feels to be there.
The eyes of Toronto.
City Pulse at 6 and City Pulse tonight at 10.
I did. Put that on.
Moore, 342 pounds in the ring, facing Mike Lupien. I'm not really familiar with Lupien, but I do know one thing. He has his work cut out for him. Take a look at that jacket that Pretty Boy Floyd's wearing. It's no wonder he's wearing sunglasses to cut down the glare from that Liberace reject. Right away, Lupien's backed against the ropes by Moore, who's laying in those great big forearms. I'm telling you, his arms, I think, are as big as my legs. Ripping Lupien off the ropes and catching him with a clothesline, putting him to the canvas, and that clothesline full cut Lupien across the upper part of the chest, not even a throat. Look at the way this man, who weighs over 225 pounds, is being manhandled by this giant redwood from the West Coast, Man Mountain Moore. He's just being handled like a baby. The strength of this man dropping Lupien across that top rope. I'm telling you, folks, that move should be made illegal. Somebody is going to be hurt, and hurt seriously and permanently by that move, particularly when they are dropped from the height that this giant of a man, Man Mountain Moore, drops his opponent. Lupien has not had a chance to breathe so far in this match. Moore has been all over him, just grabbing him. He's not using scientific knowledge whatsoever. This is brute force. Whipping Lupien now, and Moore just turning around in the center of the ring, laying out that big elbow, and he didn't even throw it, folks. He just stood there, and the force of the way he had thrown Lupien off the rope carried him in. Those great big tree trunks of legs coming down across the upper chest, and Moore lifting his opponent, lifting him when he could have pinned him, and this is another thing that I think should call for a disqualification. Lupien's up in the air now, and all 6 feet 6 inches, all 342 pounds coming down on Lupien in the form of a power slam, and again, Man Mountain Moore could have pinned Mike Lupien, and again he lifts him off the canvas, and folks, I want to hear one of those letters. I think the wrestlers should be disqualified for punishing their opponents the way men like Man Mountain Moore and Steve Strong do. They seem to be in there. Look at this now. Is there any need for Man Mountain Moore? He has destroyed his opponent, Lupien, from the opening bell to then choke him, lifting Lupien up in the air, way up in the air, 6.5, and another backbreaker, dropping Lupien on the canvas. The knee across the throat. This is unnecessary. It's not by the rules and for it. And just because you want to hurt your opponent, there's no place for that in professional wrestling. This has got to be it. This is Man Mountain Moore's finishing hold. Yes, Lupien has submitted. I'm happy for Lupien, frankly, at this point. Man Mountain Moore, you can drop him now. You don't need to ram his head against that top turnbuckle. The match is over. Lupien has submitted. The referee should disqualify Moore. Fine his manager, Pretty Boy Floyd. There's no need for this. Lupien has submitted. Why is Man Mountain Moore continuing to hold him in that backbreaker, hangman, whatever you want to call it, continuing to punish his opponent after the bell had ended? He could have pinned Lupien far earlier than he did. He chose not to. This isn't wrestling. This is backstreet barroom brawling. And frankly, I think the referees should exercise more control in these matches as Lupien tossed out between the second and top rope by Man Mountain Moore. What is it with these guys? What is it with the Man Mountain Moores? What is it with the Steve Strong that they have to hurt and injure and destroy their opponents? It's uncalled for. And the referee's, in my own and humble opinion, well, what's he going after the opponent for now? He destroyed him in the ring. There's no need to pick him up outside the ring and body slam him to the arena floor and then stop him with Pretty Boy Floyd stands there in his blinding reject jacket from Liberace's closet, urges him on, lifts the arm. You know, folks, somebody sometimes going to do something about these guys like Moore and Strong. I hope it's the guys like Tom Zenk, Dino Bravo, and Ricky Martel, and they do it right here on International Wrestling, and I hope they do it on TV. We see, again, Man Mountain Moore just destroyed Mike Lupien. Lupien, by this time, folks, had already submitted to that very destructive and painful backbreaker or hangman, and Moore continued to punish him. But another victory it is for Man Mountain Moore here on International Wrestling. You know, wrestling fans, whatever our responsibilities, whatever our job functions, some tasks are more distasteful than others. I have such a task right now. We're going to bring in the mastermind behind the recent mayhem involving the Tag Team Championship belts and another one of his cohorts, proteges, however you want to refer to them. Of course, I speak of Eddie the Brain Creatchman, accompanied this time by Sheik Ali.
I don't care what you taste, or I don't care what anybody
I know you don't.
But anybody who's going to cross in front of Sheik Ali now is going to have to deal with me. Everybody knows that I got the experience, so let's forget the beauty. And I'm going to tell you people something. I hear all these talks about the Long Riders, the Martels, and the Zinks. Well, Martel's been shooting his mouth off. He's going to do this, and he's going to do that. Well, I'm going to tell you something. It goes for Martel and everybody else. I've been educating Sheik Ali personally in a gym all alone. I've been telling him what to do, and from today on, we're going to cover all Ontario, and we're going to cover everywhere, and anybody that wants to try and cross our little path, that goes for the Bravos, the Martels, anybody, just come along. Come one, come all. But I'm going to tell you something. You can call me sneaky, call me peaky, call me whatever you want. But when I'm in the corner of my ring, my men are going to produce. My men are going to show you what they can do. Now I'm tired of all this baloney. I'm tired of everybody saying that Sheik is through, Sheik is a has-been. I'm going to show you now.
Wrestling fans, sneaky is a very good word. Any education this man gave out would be a degree from an institution of lower education. Stay with us. A lot of action coming up.
Better educate yourself.
Facing a very ring-wise veteran and one, Bob Dellaserra. Bad Bob Dellaserra, as I like to refer to him. You know, when you look at a man like a Bob Dellaserra, you are looking at a complete athlete. This is a man who had the opportunity to play professional football. He was a top-ranked amateur wrestler in Canada. He has all the tools. This guy could give anybody really in the business a lesson in the scientific aspects of wrestling. He's got an attitude problem, but he is a capable wrestler. You know, throughout Europe, Bob Dellaserra is regarded as one of the finest wrestlers in the world today. He has a problem, it seems, in terms of his attitude here in North America. He cannot abide by the rules, and he's capable of so doing. We see now a good side headlock put on Dellaserra by Troy Martin. But Martin, I have a feeling, folks, is going to get a bit of a wrestling lesson from Bad Bob Dellaserra during the course of this match. That's entirely possible as well, that Troy Martin is going to get a lesson in a little bit of brawling. Look at that move by Dellaserra. picking Martin up. He was working that side headlock, grinding it in, and Dellaserra picked him up and dropped him backwards. When you look at Bob Dellaserra, you're looking at someone who is constantly in the finest of physical condition. Side headlock now taken by Dellaserra. Oh, what a punch! What a punch by Dellaserra. You can't taunt us, Bob. You close the fist. And now, wrapping the arm around the head, up in the air. Holy cow, what a suplex. Picking up his opponent, Troy Martin. Once again, Dellaserra laying a good forearm in across the side of Troy Martin's head. Grabbing him by the hair, ramming him to the corner turnbuckles. I can remember the days when Bob Dellaserra wrestled completely within the rules, wrestled as a scientific wrestler, and he is so capable of doing. One day, he just snapped. He said, I'm tired of taking punishment. I'm going to dish it out. I'm going to kick first rather than be kicked. And that's the attitude that he has maintained over these last number of years. Troy Martin is feeling the fury of Bob Dellaserra at this point, now being whipped by Dellaserra. Holy cow, what a backdrop. Dellaserra just catapulting Troy Martin up and over. Martin down very, very heavily in the center of the ring. Oh, a neck breaker by Dellaserra, twisting around, standing up, and folks, you have to admit it, Bob Dellaserra is a tremendously strong physical individual and in great physical condition at all times. Martin now being backed into the corner. He reverses, whipping Dellaserra, following into the corner with a good elbow. Wasn't actually a good elbow. It was a poor elbow. Dellaserra being whipped again to the corner turnbuckles. Martin coming at him. But the ring-wise veteran, Dellaserra, kicking him to the midsection. Martin fighting back with a punch, but Dellaserra laying a solid forearm in. Martin came back with a punch. Dellaserra just shrugs it right off and lays the boot to the midsection of Troy Martin, and a couple of good forearms across the back. Martin whipping Dellaserra. Oh, Troy, you telegraphed that attempt to drop kick a mile away, and all Dellaserra did was just turn around and let Martin catch air and then catch canvas. And now what? Oh, lifting over the fireman's carry and dropping him backwards to the canvas. Dellaserra covered. The count of 3 goes in. Bob Dellaserra showing just how very capable a ring veteran he truly is here with international wrestling, defeating Troy Martin in very, very impressive fashion. Bob Dellaserra, unquestionably a force to be reckoned with here with international wrestling, as I said. World famous, renowned through many areas of the world. Really here in his home area, international wrestling, he is looking to recreate that same kind of reputation for himself and getting off on the right foot. Bob Dellaserra scoring an impressive victory over Troy Martin this week. Stay with us, folks. Special interview coming up.
Pandemonium has broken loose here at International Wrestling. The new International Heavyweight Champion, the great Samu, his manager, Pretty Boy Floyd Creatchman. Gentlemen, a dream come true.
Yes, a dream come true. We've been waiting for this for so long. But I told you people that I found a champion, and I told you people that I gave him money, women, and gold, and in return he said, Floyd, I'm going to dethrone Dino Bravo. Well, what do you think he did? In the Pulse-Ove Arena, he went in the ring, and he attacked you, Dino Bravo, and he went where it hurts. He got you in the stomach, in the low point. Everybody knows he had an appendix operation. He couldn't. Dino Brito had to shoot in the towel because Dino Bravo couldn't take no more. No. Well, you're the new champion. Right. I love you for that, baby.
Let's have a few words from the new champion. Great, Samu. A dream come true for you. International heavyweight champion.
I waited for a title shot for 2 years trying to come over here. I finally got my title shot. That's right, baby. I finally got my title shot, and I showed all of the people what I can do if I was just given a chance. Now, I am the top dog. I am the number one in international wrestling.
No argument about a women's pet and a man's regret. The kind of guy that win the... Gentlemen, he is the new international champion. But you know, he must defend his title against Dino Bravo here in the new future.
And I'll ring his bell again.
That's right, Dino Bravo. You're going to have to go up that ladder. You're going to have to climb that mountain. The way Samu did. We proved ourselves. We beat everybody. There was nobody left over here for us to beat. That's why we're with the International Wrestling, because it's the biggest organization, the biggest wrestling organization in the world. But the cream of the crop is the great Samu and his manager, Pretty Boy Floyd. Dino Bravo, you were sore. He took advantage of his stomach. Brito shot in the towel. Bravo couldn't.
Well, wrestling fans, congratulations are in order. The great Samu, new international champion. Pretty Boy Floyd Creatchman, his manager. Wrestling fans, pandemonium has broken loose here with us today. Stay with us once more action.
He is destructive. He is devastating. Of that, there is no question. And wrestling fans, you have just seen him. The great Samu right now, an exceptionally happy young man, the new international heavyweight champion. You are going to see the match right here on International Wrestling next week between the new champion, the great Samu, and the man from whom he took that championship belt, Dino Bravo. You know, folks, Bravo, a proud champion. All wrestlers would give their eye teeth to have a championship belt of the stature of the International Heavyweight Championship. The great Samu returned here to International Wrestling specifically for that purpose. Of course, there are many things I could tell you about that championship match, but folks, we'll let you make up your own mind about all the things that happened during the course of that match when next week here on International Wrestling, you see the great Samu and Dino Bravo, a belt on.
Finally, a serious Molson Golden commercial. Serious because we're talking about how we make Golden so golden smooth. We do it here. You see, after we brew Molson Golden, we let it gently rest, aging it cold before we bottle it. That cold aging makes Molson Golden about as smooth as it gets. And that's a serious Molson Golden commercial.
From molten steel, Nissan creates the most important truck breakthrough in a quarter century.
Now, Nissan's lowered the rate on all new 87 trucks. The longest, biggest, strongest Nissans ever are yours at only 6.7% interest. 6.7% at participating Nissan dealers right now. But don't wait. At this rate, they're going fast.
For Canada's lowest price King Cab at 6.7%, the name is Nissan.
Ever wondered what makes me a cheese expert? I look for the Tristella label. Tristella means 3 stars. Quality, selection, and good taste. That's what I look for in a great cheese. And look, Tristella has so many different kinds of cheese. If you love cheese, like I love cheese, then you too will fall in love with delicious Tristella. Tristella is so good, it's enough to drive any mouse wild.
I don't explain my movies.
City TV has great movies. We were the first to bring you the Academy Award-winning Kiss of the Spider-Woman.
If you close your eyes, you can see them.
And many other blockbuster premiere presentations.
What's this incredible show?
So keep watching City TV for even more great movies.
I can't believe it. How about you guys? It's remarkable.
The hottest stars are on City TV, Toronto's movie channel.
I can't act with this.
Oh, shut up.
Away, wrestling fans, keep those cards and letters coming. Tell us who should tangle for the International TV Championship. International Wrestling, 4000 Beaubien East, Montreal, H1X, 1H6. You decide. Alofa, the Polynesian prince in there. I'll ask you a question. Is there anybody more exciting, more colorful on the wrestling scene today than this fine young athlete from the South Pacific? Alofa, the Polynesian prince. I'll tell you, when I first saw Ray Fields come into the ring with with that getup. Looked to me like he was trying to outcolor Alofa. We'll see if he's capable of performing with the same kind of precision and excitement as does Alofa. Good quick moves by both wrestlers, and Alofa in behind with a hammerlock, but Field steps out through the ropes, and Alofa breaking cleanly as we're used to seeing him do. You know, Alofa, one of those wrestlers that looks like he's enjoying himself in the ring at all times. The man, a true athlete, a true sportsman, takes a punch to the top of the head, but Ray Field, you don't know this guy, Alofa. That kind of thing has no effect on him whatsoever. Side headlock taken by Field. He's backed against the ropes and blown off now by Alofa with a good shoulder tackle, putting Alofa to the canvas. Field over top. Nice leapfrog by Alofa. A second one backwards, and Ray Field just caught the Alofa judo chop to the throat and hit canvas. Alofa now lifting Field off the canvas, throwing a good right hand, but Field coming back with a kick to the midsection. Forearm to the back of the head. Moving Alofa to the corner. Alofa's got size over Field, whipping Alofa out of the corner, but wasn't a very effective one. Alofa just turned around, grabbed the rope, caught Field coming in with a double kick to the midsection. Asking the fans now, should he use the Cocoa Box? Ray Field, yes, you just found out why that punch off the top of the match had no effect on that head of Alofa. A second Cocoa Box now. Field back against the rope. A nice reversal by Field, whipping Alofa, but Alofa caught the foot intended for the midsection. He's having fun with Field now, lifting him in the air. A reverse suplex. Nicely done by Alofa, the Polynesian Prince. Field now. The hair grabs Alofa now, just gently bringing him up to his feet, ripping him off the rope. Cole grabs him coming off the ropes in a nice fireman's whip. Field saying, no, don't do it. But dropped backwards by Alofa to the canvas. No question in my mind who's got this match in hand, folks. It is the Polynesian Prince, Alofa. Field now slammed to the canvas. Alofa backing into the corner now. He's on the bottom turnbuckle. He's pointing at Field and just falling almost gently for Alofa. We have seen him use that maneuver from the corner in far more devastating fashion. Looks like he's going to go, well, he's climbing a ladder. Now it's from the second turnbuckle. Field still feeling the effect of that first one, and now a second flying headbutt. This time from the second turnbuckle, and Alofa asking the fans, should he do it a third time? And he really is climbing the ladder. He did one from the bottom turnbuckle, one from the middle one, and now he's climbed to that top turnbuckle. Holy cow! A beautiful flying body press, hooking the leg. The count of three goes in. Alofa, the Polynesian Prince, in exciting fashion as always, scores a pinfall victory here this week on International Wrestling, this time over Ray Field. You're looking at a young man now who really does enjoy his profession. Alofa, the Polynesian Prince. There we see him exiting the ring, climbing to that top turnbuckle. Here it comes. We thought it was going to be another flying headbutt, but no, a beautiful flying body press, hooking the legs. He knows how to wrestle. Alofa, the Polynesian Prince, winning another match here this week on International Wrestling. Stay with us, folks. There is more to come.
As all you folks are aware, there is indeed tremendous controversy surrounding the International Wrestling Tag Team Championship belts, and in particular, what recently happened and what you've seen the last couple of weeks here on International Wrestling. The Lawn Riders, sadistic Steve Strong. Let's hear what the other side has to say about it, and we can rely on this impression. Let's welcome in Rick Martel, Dan Kroffat, Tom Zenk. Rick, the Lawn Riders, Steve Strong, what can one say?
Well, you know, Milt, I mean, the people have seen what happened. I mean, they can judge for themselves. I mean, I don't have to say how disgusting it was and was uncalled for. I mean, you know, pictures talk for themselves. But, you know, there's a lot of things I don't understand lately. You know, first of all, you know, what happened to Scott Hogg Irwin. I mean, he leaves. Nobody knows where he went, and we don't really care. I mean, what happened, he came back, and what they did to Tom and Dan when they had those belts right where they wanted them. And, you know, and also that Steve Strong. I don't understand when this guy's on my back, on. And I'm sick and tired of this situation. But, you know, there's one thing that I do understand, that these three belong together. They all know life. I mean, the Irwins, the Steve Strong. And as far as I'm concerned, as far as Tom's concerned, as far as Dan's concerned, we want to get back at those guys. We don't care where it is. They're right here in Ontario, in Quebec, all in the province of, Calgary. I mean, all over Canada, the States. We want to get back at those guys, and believe me, we're going to get even with them.
Yes, sir.
Like Rick said, there's a lot of unanswered questions. But one thing that's clear in my mind is I want revenge. I want revenge for the trip to the hospital, the half a dozen stitches that you gave me. And I'm just glad these two are my partners.
Yes, Dan, you're not going to get it. How much more you think we can take of this? No, we got us three together. We're all together. It's not even going to be a wrestling match. It's not going to be a street fight. It's going to be a war. We're coming. I'll see you. We're more fired up.
And Scott Hug Irwin returned to international wrestling with a mask over his face. Cowardly.
Return, I guarantee you that.
Wrestling fans, there will be action. Stay with us. Wrestling fans, we're going to end the program today taking a look at the very contentious happenings of that tag team championship match. The man with the mask, of course, we know it now to be none other than Scott Hog Irwin, coming to the aid of his brother Wild Bill and Bull Johnson. When Wild Bill was put to sleep by terrific Tom Zenk, there is no question in the minds of anyone today that the tag team championship belts properly belong around the waist of Dan Kroffat and terrific Tom Zenk. No, the Long Riders, in the most despicable form possible, had to open up the forehead of great fan favorite terrific Tom Zenk. They couldn't do it by themselves during the course of the match. It had to happen due to the illegal intervention of a man wearing a mask. That being, of course, Scott Hug Irwin, when we just saw there, the chair across the head of Tom Zenk. And, of course, we all know that they cut his forehead wide open. Of course, a good friend can not stand by and see a true friend take the kind of despicable punishment that was being dished out by the Long Riders and by the masked man who turned out to be Scott Hug Irwin, that the Long Riders were giving to Tom Zenk and his good friend Rick Martel invading the ring at this point, coming to the aid of Kroffat and Zenk, tossing Bull Johnson out of the ring, laying Eddie Creatchman off that ring apron with a good punch, and unmasking Scott Hug Irwin. Steve Strong, you then came into the ring, and we're going to see it shortly as Rick Martel, his dander up, came to the aid of his friend. And there's Steve Strong. You know, it's one thing to verbally abuse a man like Rick Martel. It's quite another thing, Steve Strong, to attack him, physically attack him as you did from behind. Steve Strong, you wanted Rick Martel for a long time. I don't know, nor does anyone, what your vendetta against Martel is, but Steve Strong, by attacking Rick Martel and hanging him with Wild Bill Irwin's whip outside the rope, I have a feeling you have bought yourself nothing but trouble. Rick Martel, for over a year and a half, was the AWA World Heavyweight Champion. You don't get to be a world champion, Steve Strong, unless you have talent, unless you have ability, and we all know that Rick Martel is imbued with plenty of that. The Long Riders, you're going to face, rest assured, terrific Tom Zenk, and I'm sure Dan Kroffat.
Summer's here. It's time for the new Toronto Tees. Great new styles, bold new colors. Get your Toronto Tees exclusively at Stitches and make this the hottest summer ever. From the corner of Queen and Cameron, this is City TV everywhere.